let's go forward till we get to team comp. Alright. So we're gonna start it here. So, we got dive tanks because it's Gibraltar. So on Watchpoint Gibraltar, it's very important, especially in the first point, and a little bit on the second point. High ground control is very important. This area here, and then the box that's over here a little bit, and the area over there, are very important to control. And it's very good to have heroes that can go between high ground and low ground freely, and then come back up. So usually you run something like a Winston D.Va here. We ended up on Winston Ball, which I could have played D.Va here and perhaps should have. But Winston's fine here too. This might have been right after D.Va had gotten nerfed and I wasn't sure if I should play her, so that might have been affected my decision making. We have Ana Zen, which is really good for healing dive tanks, because Zen can just throw an orb on you from afar and you can run around with it, and Ana can heal you from afar. She doesn't need to thrust herself into the fight. She can heal you from back here or from up here. The DPS picks are a little iffy. I think this is right after McCree just got buffed, so everyone was just playing him no matter what. But yeah, so that's this and this are pretty much ideal. You could make an argument that one of us could be D.Va instead. But right again, this is right after D.Va got nerfed and no one was sure if we should play her. Which is better, Winston D.Va or Ball D.Va? I think Winston D.Va is best, but I also think Ball D.Va is good too. It kind of depends a little bit on what the other team is running. I think it's situational. Winston has an easier time getting up and down between high ground and low ground, more easily. And he has an easier time against CC because he can bubble things. Winston can get up and down between high ground and low ground easily, but it's a little bit more complicated and it's not as simple. It's a little bit more involved. So anyway, you'll see that this guy ends up having a little bit of a grudge against, he claims that his ex-e-girl is on the other team and that she's boosted and something. Yeah, see. Which one? Wait, who is that? Yeah, he ends up talking, just basically shit talking that person for a while. All right, so we're gonna start right here. This is pretty standard. So a lot of the times what will happen is that the enemy team, this is when you get to GM or above, a lot of the games feel largely the same in the first few seconds. It's kind of a default strat that everyone kind of does right away, and things that people typically do. And a lot of the time, people are fighting for this bridge control right away. So you'll see teams jump right up here from out of the spawn. And then if they control this bridge, they'll try to push through here a little bit and control this area here, out here, this boxed area right here. Because really, ultimately, you want to control this high ground, because whichever team controls this high ground is in a very, very strong position. But it's risky to try to move through here. A lot of times you'll see teams, instead of trying to move through here into the enemy team, because that's a lot of times they'll be waiting here. And also, keep in mind, you don't know what the other team has yet. So imagine you're the attacking team and you jump up here. You don't know if the other team has a hog or something up here to pull you in and to just instantly kill you. Or they might have a May wall to just, you know, put a May wall right here, and now you can't, now you're closed off from your team. So you gotta be careful. But a lot of times teams will try to push through there, try to push people through. More often what you'll see is people push through here and then try to jump over here as well, or try to then move from here to controlling this, bypassing this part. But the reason you want to stand here, the reason I am here, because I'm probably going to push up to here right here and try to get a little bit of poke and prevent them from coming through this doorway. And whoever jumps up here, I will just tase them a little bit and get my ultimate. I'm just trying to build my ult. and I'm trying to be the doorman. I'm trying to prevent them from coming through here. And I'm trying to damage them a little bit so that they're less likely to try to jump over here, because they'll be half or they'll be low. So you'll probably see me push up. Yep. So we're fighting for bridge. You see how I kind of evict them from the bridge? They jump up here. D.Va jumps up here. I put the barrier down so she can't damage me. I'm getting my ult. And then she just is like, alright, well, I'm just gonna drop off. The bridge is yours. And so we've won the bridge. She might try to recontest in a second. Oh, Genji's coming back up. He's not giving up so easily. Yeah. So, it's very quick decisions. It's quick decisions, right? You have to just trust what you see. Because things happen very fast in a rank this high. So, the moment they try to recontest, watch, the D.Va jumps off, then they're gonna try to recontest the bridge. Because my bubble's down, and they know I don't have my bubble cooldown. So they're just gonna jump up, and they're gonna be like, alright, let's go fight for the bridge again. So they come up, and I see just Genji, I push forward. He's actually has a mercy beam on him, but he's only one source of damage, right? So I'm like, alright, I'm gonna go bully this guy, I'm gonna push up to the door. The moment I get up this far, it becomes, instead of now just Genji and Mercy, it's Genji, Mercy, D.Va, and Winston. And now I instantly decide, I cannot hold this spot. I just can't hold this spot any longer. I have to give up, I have to concede some ground, and I have to allow them some space, or I will die because I do not have this. But what I do have is this. I can just get out of the situation, because if I stand in this spot, I'm struggling. I don't know what that means. What's up, Hex? I haven't seen you in a while. What I do know is I can't hold this spot very long, and if I do, I will die. So just their threat alone is enough to make me concede the bridge. So now I have to jump away. See how quick that decision is? But now I'm not gonna totally concede the space. I'm not gonna let them just walk through here for free. I'm gonna hold this spot right here until I'm sure that they're not gonna come through here. Okay. Check again. Genji's there. Genji's still left side.
Can you res me? Oh, we don't.
I have bubble. Oh, we don't have a mercy. Wait. You bot.
Bumping anti. Monkey one. Nice.
So things progressed exactly the way I said, didn't it? Look, they tried to. We're gonna go back. They're gonna fight for bridge control. After they fight for bridge control, once they win the bridge, they try to progress from the bridge to the high ground here. They try to bypass this area here instead of coming through here. They try to just jump straight to there. I know that's coming. We know that's coming as a team. This is pretty standard. Got my main up to 3,500 at the beginning of the season, first time, and I dropped, and I can't get my account back up to Masters for the past 2 weeks. Felt like I was playing so well yesterday, and I was one of the top 3. You run game off 3 times. Yeah, the game is frustrating. Just hold out hope for when 222 comes and the games are a little bit more balanced and predictable. Honestly. Yes, it's not going to make you win. It's not going to make you win every game. 222, guys. 222 is not going to make you win every game. Don't think of it as this magical thing that all of a sudden, oh, the game, like, I'm just going to win every game now. The game is just going to feel more balanced and fair. And that's all you can really ask for in a competitive game. In a competitive game, you can't realistically expect to win every game. But, yeah, to make games more consistent, exactly. And the games will feel better. And this way, when the games are more balanced like that, if you truly do have a really good performance, there's a better chance that you will win because of your better performance. Instead of that better performance feeling like it goes to waste because everyone let you down. Then again, the flip side of that is if you have a poor performance in a more balanced game, it's weighted more, and you're going to be more likely to lose. There are a good percentage of games right now that are just decided by the matchmaker. Yep. Like, if you get 4 or 5 support mains on your team, but they have 2 tank mains, 2 support mains, and 2 DPS mains, you're in a really bad spot. And even though those players might all belong in Diamond, it's a Diamond game, and they all belong there, they belong there at those roles. And so 5 support mains are not going to be able to beat 2 tank mains, 2 support mains, and 2 DPS mains normally. I mean, obviously anything can happen, but yeah, a lot of that will go away. Yeah, people are soft starting in the live servers. Yeah, I haven't played at all this season for that reason. I've decided I'm gonna hold out till PTR goes live. I am gonna place next week on stream. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish the placements on stream or if I'm gonna get through most of them and then finish it the stream after. But I'm gonna play next. Sorry to interrupt your VOD. No, it's all good. It's all good conversation, bro. All right, so it progressed exactly the same way I said, right? So they're gonna. Uh-oh, what happened? What did I do? They're gonna jump here. They're gonna fight for bridge. They're gonna win the bridge eventually. Then they're gonna try to jump there. We know that's coming. We're ready for it. And even though we lose one, we're able to get a nade in there and pounce on it and control the high ground. See, even though they go up one, this is the power of that positioning. Like I said, remember, whatever team controls that high ground has a very big advantage. Well, we control that high ground, and even though they go up one and we don't have a mercy to res it or anything, we're still able to turn it around because our positioning is just better. Not only do we have high ground, but we also have cover. And we have a place we can escape to. Genji's still left side.
Can you res me? Oh, we don't.
I have bubble, I have bubble. Oh, we don't have a mercy. Wait. You bot?
Bumping anti, monkey one, nice. Diva,
Nice,
Diva.
nice.
He's sleeping down. Can you go?
Just kill the diva now. Kill the diva now.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Got a little bit premature.
Alright. So, even though we're able to instantly kill the Winston and the diva, I know it's a little bit of a debate because I said we would be able to control it, but we effectively do.
Diva,
Nice,
Diva.
nice.
He's sleeping down.
And then at this point it's kind of controlled,
Can you go?
just kill the diva now. But for some reason we're not able to kill this diva.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
And once the Winston comes up and I'm at half HP and I haven't, my bear is about to come online, but I know it's not going to do anything against Winston. I feel like I gotta jump away, so I have to concede that positioning. But we didn't come away with nothing. We got Mercy's res out, and we demech the diva, who's probably gonna get back in mech soon though. I threw down my bubble to stay alive longer so I can get healing. So we're gonna fight for control of the high ground again. It's very consistent. The theme is the same, right? It's fighting for map control. You're not fighting the enemy, you're fighting space in a way, in a weird kind of... Does that make sense? I'm not necessarily being like, oh, where's Mercy? I have to find Mercy and go kill Mercy. That's not my job. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to a spot and hold that spot. That is an advantageous spot. What do you think of Sigma? I don't see him being too strong. I also don't see how he'd be good with ball, like some are saying. Yeah, okay, this... I have a lot of thoughts on Sigma. Sigma, 100% guys. You heard it here first. There's no question about it. You can just gonna have to take my word for it. He is a deathball main tank, guys. That's what he is. As for what off tank he pairs best with, so far I think Zarya. It has a little bit of anti-synergy built in because of the Orisa type of thing where there's Sigma's trying to avoid damage by sitting behind his barrier and poking from behind his barrier all the time, right? Unlike Ryan, who has to drop his barrier. The reason why Zarya and Ryan are so good is because Zarya can protect Ryan when he drops his shield to swing, and can protect him from CC. Zarya can also protect Sigma from CC, which he's weak to, but at the same time, he's sitting behind a barrier a lot of the time, so a lot of times you might end up with wasted bubbles. You have to communicate that. Be like, hey, drop your shield, and I'm gonna... you can recharge your shield, and I'm gonna bubble you. That's where the synergy is. That's why it's good. You can also protect him from things like Doomfist and whatever that he can't easily escape from. As far as his strength, I don't think he's very strong, guys. I think that his barrier uptime is... Of the 3 anchor tanks, Ryan... notice I said anchor tanks, not main tanks. Of the 3 anchor tanks, that's Ryan, Orisa, and Sigma now. His barrier uptime is the shortest. He has the lowest amount of barrier uptime of the 3 of them. I just feel like he needs a little something with his barrier, either more barrier HP or a slight passive regeneration of his barrier while it's up, I think could be good, and then faster regeneration while it's down, something like that might be okay. But you want to be careful with barriers because you don't want barriers to feel too oppressive in this game. You see what happens with the Orisa meta, right? It feels terrible. Also, the other reason I don't think he'll be super strong is because he doesn't stop Halt Hook in any sort of way. He can actually eat the Halt, and he can actually stop Hook with his not only with his barrier but also with his grasp. I think it's called, right? The Matrix thing. But the frontal cone on the grasp is very short, and you're not going to realistically be able to stop the hook. You could actually put the barrier up if you do it fast enough, but that leaves you exposed to damage from underneath. So, I don't see him being super strong. And the Sigma with the ball, I think that's just a joke. I think it's the Sigma ball thing. It's not good synergy. There's no synergy there. Jeff said that you weren't supposed to eat things like DM. He said you weren't supposed to be able to eat ultimates. But I think that a lot of times Jeff is out of the balance loop a little bit. If you ever watch his interviews, he always really doesn't really know. He's always like, oh, I don't know what number we landed on for damage or what number we landed for this. He always seems to be a little bit out of the loop for balance stuff. So it's possible that he was just out of the loop. Because Jeff said that it wasn't supposed to do that. And then later on, the guy that helped develop him, Josh, associate game designer or hero designer, said that was intentional. So it's hard to make out.
I'm not with him, or...
Okay, no, I'm good. I can drop whenever.
You're fine.
Okay, so now that
Did you dash?
so now that we've controlled the high ground, everything is kind of stabilized, and we win the fight. And now we're all resetting. So we're gonna try to reclaim this high ground. Look, everyone's we're up here. We're rotating back up here again. And it's kind of a rinse and repeat, guys. They're gonna try to fight for bridge.
Push the top left.
See, they're gonna fight for bridge. Try to poke a little bit, then try to fight for this high ground. I have my ultimate, so I can push. I can be aggressive here.
Okay, good.
I can push them off the bridge,
Yeah, I know one.
and then look, rinse and repeat. Right? It's the same thing again and again. This is how the games feel. It's every game, every map has a set kind of strategy. It depends on the heroes you play. It obviously changes depending on the heroes you play, but a lot of times there's a meta, and the meta is usually very strong in GM. Like again, this is a low GM game, so it's not the same as the top 500 games. But a lot of times there is a very defined meta where it's like, hey, this is how we play this map every time, and so you just do it.
Just killing her like that.
The guy killed his ex.
Hey, my Christian ears, dude.
It's a little confusing hearing my voice there and my voice here at the same time, especially when there's no webcam, by the way.
Yeah, murder's fine to talk about, but not this.
Maybe I should lower this. Maybe I should lower this.
Dude, I just hit that fucking. They're probably gonna nano blade and mercy.
Oh.
This kid is just.
So, okay.
Okay, I'm dropping.
So, here, I'm gonna break this down. Would it be better if I muted the game, or do you guys rather hear the comms? Because I'm worried about that. If it gets nerfed, I don't think it'll get nerfed. I think it was intentional. I think Jeff is just out of the loop. I think, obviously I don't know. That's just my guess. I do think that we'll see some parts of his kit get buffed. There is also a bug right now where he can shoot Sigma can shoot 4 of his hyperspheres at once instead of 2. If you spam left click and right click at the same time, that will likely get patched out before it goes live, because that just doubles his DPS. So, alright, let's go back. Alright, so look, it's the same thing, right? But except this time, they get a pick on the Ashe who's getting greedy and peeking a Widow. So we're in a 6v5 now, and now as soon as they get into 6v5, they're like, good, we have them where we want them, let's go attack the high ground again. So they're gonna come right after it. So I know it's coming. Do you see how I walked? Do you see how I kind of nonchalantly just walk down like that? Watch this.
Come on.
Dude, I just
Okay, so we lose one, and watch me turn around and just walk off, because I know they're coming.
This kid is.
See that? It's ever so subtle, but I know it's coming. This is how things work. We're down one, but we're not gonna give up. We don't feel like giving up the spot that easily. So I actually commit my cooldown here, which is risky because now I can't use it to get out. I'm hard engaging here. And I'm just gonna go up because the reason I'm doing this is because I have my bubble and I feel like I can, and my healers are back there able to heal me. So I feel like I can survive long enough. I feel like I can survive 6 seconds to get out. So I need to survive 6 seconds for my leap to get back out. So I'm gonna try to get back up here, fight for the high ground control if possible, and then at the very least get out with some ult charge. But it's risky. I could die here. But the moment we go down one again, my barrier fell. So once my barrier falls, I'm like, okay, I can't hold the high ground anymore.
Okay, I'm dropping.
So I have to drop. And then we go down one more, and now I know I have to get out. So, oh, actually, nope. I went back in.
Bring it to me, bring it to me, bring it to me. No.
Okay, all right. That's actually, it's actually good. If you can tell, guys, I haven't actually watched this VOD beforehand. You see the disconnect between what I should have done and what I did do? That is my mistake. That is no one's fault but my own, right there. And that's, a lot of times, people will complain, where's my healing, where's this, where's that? You can see the clear cause and effect of why I died, right? I'm here, I'm safe. My jump is about to come off cooldown. I can easily jump this way back towards safety. That's what I have to do. I have to do that here. There's no way we're gonna win this fight down 2 and Genji's bleeding. And I have no bubble cooldown and I don't have primal. But I'm still trying to fight for high ground control, and by the time I realize that it's a massive mistake, it's too late. I'm gonna tell you guys how it is with Overwatch and on the ranked ladder. It might not necessarily apply to the Overwatch League, maybe it does a little, but on the ranked ladder, this is how I view it. Right? We're gonna we'll do it this way. We're gonna go rank mistakes, right? Wait, actually, let me think about this, guys. I might be baiting myself into a mistake here. A mistake. All right, so as your rank goes up, your mistakes go down. So it would be, let's say this is the 0 point. Uh-oh, guys. I think I screwed up here, guys. I don't know. Mistakes are pretty high rank. Let's say if your rank is here, your mistakes are going to be very low. All right, guys. Let's do that in yellow. So the higher your rank is, let's say this is GM up here, and this is bronze, and then this is a lot, and this is none. I don't want to say none. I want to say very few. So you call it VF, right? This is the way the rank ladder works. This game is all about punishing enemy mistakes. You don't have to go. I always preach playing patient, and the reason I do that is because more often than not, when you slow down the gameplay, it's gonna allow you to make more. It's gonna allow you to make fewer mistakes because you are gonna be thinking more. You're gonna slow down. You're gonna be like, okay, what do I do? What's going on? Who's alive over there? You know, what cooldowns do I have available? What cooldowns do they have available? And it allows you to think more, right? It allows you to slow yourself down, and you're gonna make fewer mistakes because of it. When you're not trying to be out there and be the hero. The other reason you should play patient, because you don't need to go out and make a play, because chances are on the ladder, let's say you're a platinum player, so you're here, they're gonna be making plenty of mistakes on the other team, right here. All you have to do is be patient and wait for them to make a mistake and then punish it. Just play patient, wait for them to make a mistake, then punish it. That's all you gotta do. The problem is the higher you go up the ladder, so when you get up high in GM, there's going to be very few mistakes to punish. So when there is an opportunity to punish a mistake, it's also the punish rate's going to be higher. So like a lot of times you can make a mistake a lot in bronze, but it doesn't necessarily always get punished. Even though there's a lot of mistakes going on, not all of them are going to get punished. In GM, there's very few mistakes, but they get punished more frequently, a higher percentage of the time. So all you gotta do is play patiently, and this is an example of me not playing patiently and not playing smart and making a mistake and dying. This is what it looks like. We're down. That's the exact moment where I screwed up. It takes me too long to realize that I made a mistake. Whereas all I had to do was go jump back. My Zen had trance. I could have sat in the trance, waited it out, got our close spawns because our spawns are close, and then taken this fight 6v6 again.
Bring it to me, bring it to me, bring it to me. No.
Oh my god, where are you translating that he dies? Why the fuck are you there?
And people are getting mad.
I'm gonna be 100 with you, dude. That was my fault.
So I know it's my fault, right? I know I made the mistake as it happens. I can identify it. Doesn't mean I didn't make the mistake. This contenders players are up there. Yeah, that's just a ladder. And then once you go up past there, Overwatch League, it's to an extent like yes, it's going to be even fewer mistakes, and those mistakes are probably going to get punished more. But it's different. The reason I didn't talk about the pros is because they have set plays. They make set plays that's a little different. So sometimes they do try to go out and make a play, but it's because they're making a set rotation or a set play that they had in mind beforehand. So yeah. So, alright, so I'm gonna peek out, instantly get headshot, so I gotta turn around instantly and just bubble and walk away. I can't walk through that spot anymore because I will die. See, that's how a Widowmaker can create some space or can take away some space. Just by the threat of her damage, right? So, I'm up here. I can no longer come through this way. I cannot walk through this way anymore, and I know that now. And actually, the rest of my team also knows it. So this area right here, this whole area, is effectively just being shut down by Widow. So there's nothing we can do about it. So I've got to drop and come through a different way. I got to find another point of entry, and I got to get healed up.
Flying point. Some Niana Genji. No nade on Nana, no nade.
I have no HP. You gotta contest. I can't contest yet.
Heal me first, I'm gonna switch.
So you can make an argument I should have went up to the Widow, but at this point I'm concerned because whoever was on the point just traded it off and came off the cart, so I gotta be the one to hold the cart. I probably did not have to jump out to the cart and waste my cooldown. That was a mistake. But in this part of the map, it's all about controlling this high ground, and the high ground up here behind me where the Widow was. A lot of times you'll hear people say fight for blue box. This is the blue box up here. So you fight for this high ground right here, because a lot of times the enemy is usually going to be coming from this way on attack, and then so you want to deny them this high ground that looks over the point. It's less frequent as there's going to be people up here on the other side, but there is someone up there. So again, it's fight for high ground. It's fighting for high ground. This is why you run dive tanks. So I'm just gonna come straight after the Widow. So I just opened myself up to a sleep dart. That's a mistake. So I decided that when I got nanoed, instead of jumping straight into the clump of enemies and building my primal, I have two options here. When I get nanoed,
On his half.
I have two options. I can jump into this clump of enemies and try to build my nano. I can probably avoid sleep by putting down my bubble. And you're gonna want to use your shield to block cooldowns as opposed to damage as Winston. Anyway, or I can do that, or I can kill the isolated Widow. And I just decided, you know what? Right now, a pick is more valuable than me getting 30% of my ult. So I just go get the guaranteed kill because I know she's super isolated and she's not gonna be able to do anything. But then I re-engage, and this is a mistake. This is a massive mistake. I think I thought the nano was still going or something, or was gonna be still going. And I just engage, and now I am gonna waste the 2 supports' times and cooldowns. So they're gonna have to heal each other, and they're gonna have to worry about me. But and I am pulling their attention. That is important. But I don't have anything to block the cooldown or the anti, and that's what's more important here. And that's why this is a mistake, because I'm opening myself up to a sleep dart, and most high ranked GM Anas will hit this shot a lot, like very frequently. That's why I kind of walked away. And I do get slept, and then I get anti. See? So I'm gonna come up here. I think I missed my jump. I meant to be up there.
Please heal me. Please heal me. Get off on him.
We can still win this. It's still winnable. Just we can actually still turn this around if you can stall long enough. Because I have primal.
I'm fucking stalling, dude. I'm stalling.
No peels for us.
I got the fucking stall locked down, boys. Get the fuck in.
I'm coming.
Let's go.
I have primal.
Yeah, we have primal.
So we decide we're gonna commit to this and not give it up. I had to leave because of the diva bomb. I probably should have suicided the point to hold the point, but it probably wasn't too winnable of a fight anyway. Let's see. Yeah.
I'm sleeping.
They're all inside.
I'm sleeping.
Realistically, the Zen probably should have held point with his trance.
I know, but I
Yeah.
died of the bomb.
Dude, please.
Look here.
Alright, so now we have to defend second. A lot of times this is all about controlling the catwalks up here, and the spaceship up here.
Yeah, my bad. I should have suicided. You're right.
I just decided I'm going to engage this because they're all low and they're mostly dead, and we can get some free ult charge here.
Let's just back off.
There wasn't much to that decision other than that, hey, I saw we were massively up in the fight, and then I probably wasn't going to get punished for jumping in and getting some ult charge and maybe a kill.
They're gonna have primal. Did they blade? I think they have bleed. They use bomb.
I'm jumping in here to try to defend my teammate. We're gonna draw it now and bleed, and I'm gonna come after the Widow again.
Nice.
Find the fucking card. They don't know. The monkey doesn't know. Chicken dime. Nice.
That's a little bit of me trying to play too fast instead of checking my surroundings. So I could have jumped up and punished the diva,
Diva's top left.
but I was jumping into the other door because I thought somebody might be down there, instead of checking my surroundings and playing slow. It potentially could have been a mistake and a massive feed for me to jump and try to save my teammate,
I think they have walls.
but I felt,
They're gonna have primal. Did they blade? I think they have bleed.
but I felt that my McCree, I don't know why he's down here. I felt that my McCree, him dying, was gonna cause a snowball effect. So I thought that the only way we were gonna possibly win this fight is if I jump in and try to save him. Realistically, there's very little chance I can jump in and actually save him here. So this is possibly a mistake. I'm gonna say probably a mistake,
Widow's literally one, dude. Widow's one.
but it doesn't get punished. So
Find the fucking card. They don't know. The monkey doesn't know.
the fact that we have nano is the only thing that makes it maybe not a mistake. Which I know because I was hitting tab before. But even then,
Diva's top left.
it's me jumping in. See, you don't really want to engage too often with your jump. This is a little bit of a different story because I'm not really engaging. I'm just holding a door and using the cover. Because when you hard engage with your jump, you can't get out. So you're stuck there for a few seconds unless you have primal. So usually you want to walk up to enemies or drop on them with walking, and then jump out. I did a bad job of placing my barrier there. I wanted it to be an inch further back so I can block the missiles, but
Widow?
now I have primal. I'm gonna be forced to burn it here. My poor positioning there ends up making me burn my primal, but I get value out of it anyway. I'm gonna body block them. Questionable decision, but We got the kills. Their spawn is closer, so it's probably not a good decision.
Block the door. Where's Widow?
Yeah, well, it's still in there.
McCree in the top right.
This is just a cluster F of bad decision making by me. Again, I could very easily here, and this is what I should do. Walk up to this cart, put my bubble down, get a bunch of poke, and then jump away. That is what I could and absolutely should do. Instead, I jump back in. This is a bad play. This is something that happens a lot with, and obviously I make this mistake too, but it happens very frequently with Winston VOD reviews I have sent in to me from mid to lower ranks. Is like, they'll go in, engage, and then use their leap to try to get extra damage and go back in instead of using that leap to get out. And that's what I do here. I just double down on committing to this cart, and then I don't have an escape to get away with. And then the Zen has to try to burn trance to save me, and not only do I feed, but I also force an ult out of my teammate for no reason other than my poor positioning and poor decision making. That now we won't have for Blade. This very easily could have been avoided by simply the act of me just jumping away. And I don't frequently do this, but this is an example of me making a poor decision. I'm not saying I don't make poor decisions, but I don't usually make that one. Maybe it'll happen once or twice more throughout the stream, throughout the VOD review. But luckily our Ash pops off and we take the fight anyway. I can engage with jump here because they're down so many players. The fact that they're lacking so much damage because their damage dealers are dead means I can just they're both their healers are dead and their McCree's dead. I think their Winston's back up by that time. Yeah, their Ash is dead, their Ana is dead, the Winston gets rezzed, okay, and the Mercy's dead. So because they're lacking the McCree damage and both healers, and especially because they don't have Sleep Dart, I can just hard engage and not worry about who's there. This is cleanup phase. This is staggering people and building ults. Now I already have my ult, so I don't have to play to build ult anymore. I can play for better positioning. This Mercy gets bullied, yeah. Alright, so you'll probably notice that we nanoed and primaled, but I'll explain why I did that. Alright, so when I say I don't have to play to build ult, I don't have to kind of play down here and be the doorman and kind of get zapped and then jump away. I can put myself on the ideal position up here, so I can drop down on people and then jump away. Or I can play back with my team. It opens up more doors for me because I don't have to play to try to build my ult. I can play a little safer. I can play a little smarter. Or less aggressive. I don't want to say smarter, I want to say less aggressive. So I can, so I'm going to jump up here, get this positioning up here. Because I know they're probably going to walk through the door down here. Or actually, I might have just jumped up there because I saw Diva was up there to try to deny her the space. But either way, it kind of does the same thing. So I can jump down here, and then we get nanoed. Oh, I guess I really didn't need the primal. Actually, it's probably a mistake that I primal here. I guess in my head I thought I didn't have my shift cooldown. Let's go back. I had my shift cooldown, didn't I? Cause I just used my primal here to reset my dash, to just reset my leap, but I guess I had it. So I just wanted to close the distance on the Mercy to guarantee the kill. Maybe because it was because I had to reload and I wanted to skip the reload before she got away. Maybe that was it. I wanted to skip the reload. Guarantee the kill. We probably didn't need it, or definitely didn't need it, and we would have gone by without it. I actually brought the hog to the. Oh, it's last fight. It's last fight. That's why I primal. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, sorry guys. It took me a while to break down my own decision making. It was last fight, so now all of a sudden a dumb decision becomes a smart decision. All right. So I was like, wait, why did I do this? So I could have just killed her with the leap cooldown, but it's last fight, so using primal here is fine. I also brought the hog to the point, which is a mistake. Yeah.
Listen, it was calculated.
All right, so we're gonna hold.
He's gonna get res.
All right. All right. So here's what's gonna happen. This is what I was talking about before. Because you don't know what they have. You gotta play a little bit passive at first when you try to take control over that bridge.
I thought I heard a hog just now, so be careful about getting hooked into the room.
I thought I heard a hog. Be careful about getting hooked. I'm not sure, but I thought. And even then, I got baited. Here we go. Watch. The D.Va's fighting, trying to be like, "Hey, look at me! Come fight the bridge."
They are running bunker. Oh god.
I didn't expect my bubble to get destroyed that quickly. Now, this is still a mistake, and I'll explain why. But they're running bunker and they're setting up here because they know that we're going to try to fight for the bridge. So what they've done is change up their strategy to get a cheeky couple, to get an advantage over us. So what they want to do is win the first fight really quickly because they catch us off guard by going bunker up here. And this is a little bit atypical. I mean, maybe it's more typical this season. Last season it was a little bit less typical on Gibraltar. A lot of times people just run dive takes on Gibraltar. But they want to kill whoever's baited up here, hook him in, hook him in, and then get an easy 6v5 and steamroll. They got triple tank here, but it's still a mistake, even though I couldn't have necessarily known that was exactly what was going on. This is not the mistake. This is the mistake. I put down my bubble, which gives me enough time to be like, hey, what's in there? There's an Orisa in there. I thought I heard a hog before. I have to immediately, it has to be a very snappy decision. Walk off. I don't have to jump. I don't even have my jump. But I don't have to do anything other than just walk off and fall off. But instead of walking off, I saw this and I backed up this way instead for some reason. And that's a massive mistake. I could have just fallen off. It took me too long. Do you see how long it took me to identify what was going on? It's too long.
So be careful about getting hooked into the room.
They might be running. Oh, they're not running bunker.
I'm sitting there looking in there to try to figure out what they have because I think I'm safe inside my bubble. I'm like, oh, I have 600 HP barrier. It'll be fine. They destroyed it in like less than a second. So I don't have enough because what I'm trying to do right now is gain information by figuring out exactly what they have. That's all I was trying to accomplish just now. But I didn't necessarily back off that way. I did try to jump off, but by the time I did, it was too late. See, I thought I was safe inside my bubble. Here it is. Watch, you'll see me turn. And I'm gonna try to walk off right here. You'll see it. And then yep.
They have triple tank bunker. It's D.Va, hog, Orisa.
See, they're gonna try to just snowball the first point here because they get up. What you do is you win the first fight, you get up in ultimates, then you win the next fight because you have better ultimates. Then you know, you still probably have better ultimates because you rationed your ultimates well in the last fight, and now you should have more ultimates coming online. The other team got steamrolled twice, so they're not building their ultimates as fast, and you should just be able to win the first 2 or 3 fights like that and just snowball it. And then by the time the other team even really has a chance because their ultimates are coming online, you've already wasted 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes. That's kind of the general strat here.
Let's just wait for 6. Everyone just back up here.
So I just call it to just stabilize. This is basically a stabilize call. We get a pick that changes things, right? So they res one. We get another pick. That means we are up 1.
Just wait for 6. Everyone just back up here.
Is a stabilized call? Stabilized? Okay, so we go up 1. So now we're gonna fight for the high ground. Now we're gonna fight for high ground. My job here is not to evict them from this spot. I know you guys think, oh, jump up here and just kill them, right? You know, dive them. Everyone dive as a team and we're gonna go kill them. That's not what we're trying to do. We want to jump up here and I want to put my bubble down and I want to build ult off these guys. Just Tesla into them for a few seconds and then fall off. I am not hard engaging here. I'm soft engaging. I'm just trying to build my primal because the best way for me, excuse me, to win this fight or to evict them from this spot so we can get high ground control. Again, this is high ground control, right? This is what I talked about in the last one. It's pretty standard. Even though they're running a different comp, they're still trying to do the same thing. The best way for me to evict them from this high ground and for us to take control of it is for me to build primal and then push them off. And create chaos. See, I want to break up the bunker. See, they're all so tightly packed. Oh, my alert went off, but I don't see what happened. Oh, my activity feed is down. Thanks for the follow, Odd Clan. Thank you. So, see how tightly clustered they are? When I get primal, I can boop this guy this way and boop the Orisa towards us and boop them backwards. I can break up the bunker, but I can't do that until I have primal. Ball actually can do that on his own without his ult, but it's hard to do that here because you can't build up enough momentum to go through here this way. Even if you come through this way, you're just not going to be able to do it probably. And they'd have to not be paying attention. They'd have to have very bad awareness. So I'm going to go up here. They pulled me back up for some reason. And then watch, I'm just going to drop off. We actually do end up killing them, but that wasn't my plan. My plan was just to go up there and build ult and then fall back down. Maybe get a little more push through the, get the car to the other side, walk back over here, and jump back up, and then drop down and rinse and repeat. I do this on Temple of Anubis a lot, in the first point of Temple of Anubis when people set up on that island, that little raised platform. It's kind of the same thing. I'm just jumping it, falling off, waiting for my cooldowns, jumping back up, and then until I get my primal, and then I can break up the bunker. But the team ended up getting a few picks, and now we're able to take control of the high ground. So I don't even bother standing up there because that's just the first stage of capturing the high ground behind me. What I want is this high ground here, or controlling this, whoever's up there, evicting them from there, and just generally taking space away from them because we're up so massively. It opens up more options for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drop down here and try to take up this high ground here, or hold them at the door here. Those are my options here. Or I could also hold this high ground here. I could jump up here. Because we're up so massively, it opens up a lot of options for me. I actually forget what I do here. Okay, I'm gonna try to hold them at the door. So I'm gonna try to take space away from them. What I'm doing here, what I've effectively done is this, right? They are down so massively that they've had to, aside from the hog, they've all retreated back this way. They're all back here. All the remaining alive teammates are here, right? And then the hog's up here, and he's probably going to be trying to get away sooner too. What I want to do is push all the way up to this door. Push all the way up to this door. And hold them here. This way, all of this space, everything here, becomes our space. This all becomes... Wait, this is getting a little clustered. If I block them here and have trouble getting out of this door, and they're on the other side of this door, they're all over here. All of this space becomes our space, and now all the space on the first point is ours, and they have to contest into us. It's almost like we became the defense and they became the offense. So that's what I'm attempting to do here. Instead of getting high ground control, I've actively made that decision. See how the hog is trying to retreat now to get back to where his team is? He's been evicted from the high ground just solely based off of him being the only one left. Like, everyone else has retreated, so he can't hold the high ground very long because he's on his own. So I don't even need to contest him up there. He's eventually just gonna have to drop. So the reason I ended up jumping away, my bubble's gone, and I've taken too much damage, and if I stand there any longer, I will die. I cannot hold that space any longer, so I jump away, jump to where my healers are. We have high ground control there now. Our DPS, I don't even need to stand up there. There's no reason for Winston specifically to stand up here other than to try to control it, or to wrestle control of it. Once it is controlled, I don't need to be up there anymore. My DPS, my Ashe can walk up there, my Ana can walk up here, and they can help us from up there. So I left that open for them.
Trouble. Okay, I'm good.
So I just want to build my primal here. I'm just gonna jump into them oh, okay. I actually went after the Zen instead.
Mercy, 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 mercy.
Mercy one, mercy one. Half. I'm bobbing, point.
So I just barely get my primal. See, the reason I can hard engage there is because I'm so close to my primal that I know I can get it before they can kill me. I'm just gonna juggle the mercy in there. And we're just gonna
Dude, there's colors on my screen, that's all I know.
and then we're just gonna see, because I took that space away from them, they had very little space to operate with. Watch the flow of this fight, right? Even when they re-engage, even when I disengage and I give them time to take more space, they don't have enough time to take the space that they want, and they know that we have high ground control, so they can't push too far out. It's not like they can all of a sudden just be like, oh, Winston's gone, so we can just hold up here again. Let's hold this corner. They can't do that because we have high ground control up here, because we can shoot down on them from their backs. So they can't do that. So now they're relegated to staying here and here, and trying to use this cover and this cover, and trying to barely peek out. They can't come too far out. So we know that, so we're gonna pressure them. The Zen's off here on his own, and we're just gonna go after him. Yeah, he said he was gonna slam Zen, so that's why I went in on it. Otherwise, I might have held the other side instead, and tried to jump into the more clustered group of enemies so I can get my ult. And then we're just gonna see how little space they have. Look at that. All this is ours. This is all the space they have, and even then it's not going to last long. They're trying to contest space that they really can't contest. Even with a Valkyrie Mercy, they still can't do it. I should have short jumped there, but that's okay.
What's happening, dude? That's all I know.
You're gonna get one shot. Yeah, I know. He does a lot of damage. Trust me.
What the hell, dude? I'm going up top. Okay, I'm here now.
So, for anyone who wasn't here in the very beginning, I am going to be doing my placements on stream next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it through all of them or not yet. I'm going to try. We'll see. Right now with the live servers, the competitive on live servers, I'm sure you guys know, is just a disaster right now with the PTR being just much better and people just waiting for the PTR and people not caring because the roll lock is coming. But I do have to place before the season's done. Because I've placed every season so far, and I've been GM every season. Or not every season, I think for the first four seasons I was Masters or something like that. Anyway, but I will be placing next week on stream. I'm not sure if I'll do 2 sets of 5, one stream will be 5 and another stream will be 5, or if I'll do just all 10 right away. We'll see. But I will be doing that next stream. I won't be doing a VOD review next week, I don't think. So yeah, there's that. I'm gonna be playing more comp on stream actually. That's my plan when the PTR comes out, or when the rollout comes out. So I am gonna go back to that. I know I said that at some point, for those of you who've been here a long time, that I wasn't gonna do that anymore, because I got told that on the stream one time and it made me embarrassed. But you know, I just gotta take that experience and learn from it instead of shying away from it. So I'm gonna be doing that next week. So that's what you guys can expect next week, Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. And also, if you guys aren't already part of my Discord community, you guys can join my Discord communities in the social panels below. There's a permanent link to my Discord. You can join that. Join in on the discussion we're having on Sigma right now. You know, there's over 100 people on that Discord, so you guys can converse amongst each other and talk about hero balance, talk about the game, talk about events, your most recent shortcomings in ranked, or your bad play session, whatever it is. You can join my Discord community. That's where you can submit VODs to me. I'm still going to be doing coaching, guys. I want this to predominantly kind of be a coaching stream, but I'm going to be limited because I'm running out of VODs and such. So that's where you can do that. You can submit a VOD to me in my VOD submission channel in my Discord. I asked that they be YouTube links and 720p and 30 frames per second at a minimum. Other than that, any rank, any hero I can coach. I am a main tank player, but I can coach any hero. And I have switched all of them. Pretty soon I'll be doing Sigma ones. So we'll see. I do think I've got it down already. I've been playing quite a bit of Sigma, and I think I've I don't want to say got it down, not like mastered, but like I think I more or less understand the hero. I'm gonna go back a few seconds because I missed a few seconds. So I'm just gonna fight. I'm just gonna get spaceship control. This does a few things. It allows me to take away the space if they have any snipers or if they want to get up here. It allows me to drop on the catwalks, and then from the catwalks, if there's anyone up here, I can contest them. And then if there's no one on the catwalks, I can just drop on them. It allows me to drop on the catwalks here, and then maybe drop on them if they're here, and then jump out. It allows me a lot of versatility, and it also allows my DPS to claim this area as their own, so that they can come up here and they can use this space to shoot down on enemies because I have controlled it for them. It's almost like I've jumped up here and planted my flag on it. But I did exactly what I said I was just gonna do, right? I said I don't know what to do with it, but in reality I do know what to do with it. I'm just messing around. We're not really messing around, but I'm just in the moment. Yeah, I did exactly what I said I was gonna do, right? I drop off a catwalk and drop in on them, and I can jump away if I need to. Look at that. It's a masterpiece, guys. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna hold this corner. I'm not gonna concede this space, right? They're trying to claim this corner. They're trying to, inch by inch, reclaim space. Look at their bunkers here. This is the space they have, right? This is the space they have. Everything north of that, or everything this way of that, is our space. Not necessarily 100% accurate, because there is damage control, there is space control through hold combo and through threat of damage. But yeah, they're hard holding this corner right here, and the rest of the space is ours to kind of do what we want with, especially since we have a bubble here and a Nano Winston. It allows us to, so look, they have to see how the Nano Winston jumping in changes the battlefield. They have to concede some of the space. Now instead of being here, they're here and they're backing up this way. They're going to try to reclaim this space after I jump out. After I realize I can't hold it anymore, my bubble breaks, and notice a trend, right? When my bubble breaks, I know I can't hold that spot anymore. There's just too much damage. Even with the Nano, even though I can tank technically 1,000 damage, I am out. So they're going to try to reclaim this corner, partially because they want to, and partially because they have to, because we got to get the cart here. So they got to not let us take that spot. So they're just going to try to hold here. They're pushing out, but I'm not going to let them push all the way out and hold this, have the cart thing be behind them. I'm going to hold this spot, try to build my primal, hold this corner, use it as cover. See, I'm weaving in and out of the cover. Then when I feel like they're pushing too far around the corner to a point where there's too much threat of damage or a threat of hook or some sort of CC, I jump away. We did actually trance. The guy trance to try to save me, but that's actually his mistake. He should count on me making the correct play. You should always count on your teammates making the correct play, because when you don't, you end up making mistakes like this. And I know what you're thinking. Like, oh well, in Plat, I can't really do that. I can't apply that to my own game. If you continuously do that, when your teammate does make the correct play, you will likely win that fight, and it's going to result in more one fights. If you anticipate your teammate making a bad play, well, even if you try to save them, you're probably just going to toss your ult or your cooldown in with it and lose that cooldown or that ult, and they're still going to die. Or you'll die too, or you'll just make it worse. A lot of the time. There are situations where it's different, but like, you can't, I don't want to speak in absolutes is what I'm saying, but I don't like always and never. I don't like those words, but yeah. Okay, so I've decided that they have too much threat of damage there. We can't hold that space any longer. My bubble's gone, and the moment my bubble breaks, I'm out. But look, I've just about built another primal. How short amount of time was that, right? Between when we capped the first point and now we're here? It wasn't even really a real fight. I mean, it helps that I got nanoed. But just from poking them and just from testing them and jumping away, and then testing them and jump away, and then you just build up the primal, and then you hard engage when you have them primal. This is how you want to play Winston. I want to hard engage because I know that I can build my primal before they can kill me. Because I have my cooldowns. So I'm just going to jump in, right? Because I have both my cooldowns at this point. I mean, I'm about to have my shield. I know that. I know that I only need 15% of my ult, and they're all standing right there. I basically just have to jump into them and use the leap damage. And then I can just place down my bubble. There's no way they're going to kill me fast enough before I get my ultimate. Look how fast I get it. I already have it. See? There's no way. They just can't. They can't get through my health and my shield, or my shield and my health, before I get 15% of my ult when they're all standing on top of each other. So now I know that I can't hold that spot any longer without primaling. So I'm just gonna primal, push them around, break up the bunker. See how disorganized it's getting now because I primaled? Now I'm just gonna bully the Mercy. She's gonna say no, but I'm gonna say yes. We're gonna barrier weave, jump away, and we're good. That was a series of we're getting decent stats, but that was just a series of fighting for high ground control and fighting for space again and again and again until we have ultimates and our win condition is there, and then we can go in again.